like you were selling or pushing, and the other person never felt like they were being sold to or pressured, would you want to know what that magic question is?
Yes!
I just gave it to you. We're going to hop around a little bit, but there's several things that are important in this business to make it fun. Kathy Dennison, who is a maid and cleaned people's houses for a living, saw Mark Rogo's products and saw the lifestyle that he led, just jetting around. Mark Rogo wrote the book, that's her husband, Mark Yarnell. Mark Yarnell wrote the book, Your First Year in Network Marketing. Okay? There's several things in the reading list that and I hope some of you are taking notes because we're going to cover a lot of ground. Okay? I'm going to try and give you a very quick brain dump of everything I know in about 30 to 40 minutes. Reading, and I'm going to bounce all around because I'm ADHD, like almost everyone in this room. ADD. So there's a reading list. If you go to oneteamglobal.com in America, password the current month, it'll be there in the training. But your first year in network marketing is a good thing. And then we'll talk about some of the other books if you're interested. But he got her started in the business. She went from cleaning other people's houses to now as a multi-millionaire with her husband Mark. They make the business really simple, which is you can see their system. There are so many systems. And what I tell people in my downline in my organization is there's a real tension in our business between complete duplication. And there are leaders in our business who insist that if you do not duplicate exactly everything, you're gone. I'm not coaching you. Okay? And they are very effective, some of them. I'm an American. We're kind of very independent. I believe that those leaders that have important DNA that create success, and so do all of them. And it's your job, and people are attracted, at least I was attracted to this business because of the independence in it. So I don't want to salute and necessarily do everything that some leader says. I could go work in someone else's pyramid and do that. But you need to know that there are strains of success that your upline and other uplines all have. And so your best thing to do is to go to convention, go to every event, meet every leader and listen, and pull it all together, all those different strands of DNA, and combine it with your own and your personality to make this your business and your organization. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm going to probably say some things that June Wen would disagree with. And he'll kill me later over satay. but their system is like a 6 or 7 point system, which is use the products. They say sell the products. I actually don't. I'd say teach the products. And you back up and you basically, there's 3 levels of involvement. I said 86% are users. And what we do is learn to use products that we were looking for anyway. Hard science-based products. And I spent a lot of time, I'm sorry I'm a nerd, spent a lot of time on the product differentiation in my presentation. To be in the 10% who make enough to pay for their products, you just teach others. Okay? To be in the 4% who make pretty serious money with this, you have to teach others to teach others. What Kathy Dennison says, use the products, sell the products. And there's some other steps in there. I don't remember exactly, but these are some of the basics. Okay. One of the most important things in the order that I say you're inviting, you present, handle objections, close, follow up, train. That's kind of mine. It's the same. So I'm going to go back to the end of my presentation when I did the close. I'm going to talk about closing, and we're kind of going to move backwards. So my close is always a soft close. And I asked each of you came up for a picture. I soft close you just so you would learn this. And with everyone, what did you like about what you heard tonight? Let them close. The next question asked, I didn't get to it in the interest of time in closing. I did this with one person up here because I didn't hear someone interested in the business. When you hear someone saying, you know, I need to get out of the pyramid I'm working in. When you hear that, the next question is, so, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 meaning you ran screaming from the room as soon as Bob started, hated this, to 10, we're working together right now to build you residual annuity income. Where are you? Let people, again, this is my style of always letting people close themselves and give you their temperature. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you stand? And they'll say, if they say 9, you say, great, okay, let's get started. If they say 8, you can even say that. If they say 6 or 7, then you say, what can I do? What can I do to help you get from a 6.5 to an 8? And they're going to let them tell you. Well, I need to know more about the products, or I need to know for sure. And with that, there are 4 personality types. The analyticals are the ones who can spend a year on this, and you have to say, look, we can give you all the information. The clinicals, we'll send you into PubMed.gov. It's going to be like Alice in Wonderland. You're going to go down a rabbit hole you'll never come out of. So if that's what you want to do, that's great. And you can do a PhD study on this company. But 5 golden rings. The U.S. Olympic team has done this. So if you want to get started after a year of study, and believe me, you're going to run out of time because you have a busy life. So that sort of analytical who wants to get from a 6.5 to 8, he just needs a lot of product knowledge. You've got to really give it off right off. You can give it to them, don't waste your time. Okay? There's stuff on the website. You go to the U.S. website, and each and every product has under resources links to NIH.gov, National Institute of Health, and all this stuff. They can go down the rabbit hole. Don't buddy breathe with them down to 100 feet. They go that deep. Okay? But there might be other things that you're going to handle their objection. Okay? So closing, for me, is just a 2-step process. What do you like about what you saw? And you can do this with the products as well. So how do you stand on getting this body spa? Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 1, you're running out the door. 10, we're getting to the spa right now. Okay? Very simple. Let that close itself. So that's closing. Inviting. So I just gave you the magic question. Okay, there's many different ways to invite. And I'll come back to the magic question. But standing up here, as all these people came up and stood next to me, there's a really fun one which Jeff Leaves, an emerging leader in the U.S. uses. Often you'll have a conversation with someone about, they'll say, so what do you do? And the way to spark that question is to ask other people what they do. The best style of prospecting or anything is to ask lots of questions and be interested in the other person. Don't worry about being interesting. Be interested in the other person and ask lots of questions. So what do you do? What do you do? Okay, so someone who's got a job, anyone have a day job? So what do you do?
Oh, I run marketing.
So, okay, you must love that.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like, so what do you like best about it?
I gotta travel around and
Okay.
talk to people, tell them what to do.
Okay, so, and then I'm not going to role play this too long in the interest of time, so, and say, well, what is there anything you don't like about it?
Yeah, travel too much.
Okay, so what I'm waiting for her to do, and then I might go quiet and says, so what do you do? And this is, I don't recommend this, but I just loved it and I thought of it because of all the picture taking. What do? Do you really want to know what I do? Really? Because if I told you, unless you're really happy with what you do, you might hate me and you might hate it. So what do? I hang out in some of the best beaches in the world, and I work with some of the smartest, most beautiful women in the world. I just thought of that as, I mean, a lot of you are using Nuskin products and you came up and were standing next to me and you're smart and you're beautiful and it's a fun business. Thank you very much. So that's one way of prospecting you. So what do you do? And just ask people what they do. Now, I am really wandering. Let's get into the inviting formula. This may not interest you at all. If there were a magic question, would you want to know what it is? But a little bit of grammar lesson. Okay? This may not interest you at all, comma. What did I just do? Okay, curiosity. So some of you are using the words from the training. Have you heard of the 4 C's? Anybody? Not great. Blue. There we go. People have heard of that? The 4 C's of inviting? Yes. It's okay if you haven't. Anyone not? Everyone admit stuff they don't know. That's why we're here. I'm going to cross it out, and it's actually 5 C's. This is the magic formula for inviting. So one of the most important things is to create curiosity. We teach this, that you compliment someone when you're calling them to invite them to a presentation, to bring them to a presentation, or to send them to a webinar or a recorded call, or there are many ways in the US that we do this business. The most effective is to bring people to a presentation. But there are thousands. If you go to nsinsider.com or otgdrive.com, which is the successor site for the US, there are all sorts of videos. You don't send them to the site itself, you send them to the sublink of a particular video, maybe Nathan Ricks, one of our most powerful presenters. Honestly, I don't find that works. If you send someone anything by email or to a link, you must get a commitment of the time that they're going to watch it. Otherwise, it hangs in their inbox and frays the friendship. It hangs in their inbox and frays the friendship. Everyone is busy. Most people have 300 new emails a day coming in, and it's growing exponentially. They're not going to have time to look at it. So you say, look, I'm going to send you this amazing 2.5-minute thing. There's a 15-minute thing by the Discovery Channel, and will you watch it by Sunday? 5 p.m. I'm going to call you on Sunday. If they say, well, I don't think I'll get to it, you say, well, look, maybe now's not the right time. Okay? But generally, you want to invite people to a presentation. So the inviting formula is, this may not interest you at all, which is creating the curiosity. But, and then you give a benefit. I say the magic question. If there were a business that were growing really fast, and you could build an annuity income without quitting what you're doing now until you're good and ready, would you take a good hard look at it? If there were a new technology that gave you back the energy you had when you were a 9-year-old, safe and tested at a major university, would you take a good hard look at that? So it's basically, this may not interest you at all, creates the curiosity, then you state the benefit. If there were this, would you at least take a good hard look at it? So twice, you're leaning back. This is called a benefit, or it's also called a basic qualifying question. In jargon, it's I'm saving you $300 in a third-party network marketing course by Hilton Johnson, called The Language of Attraction. This is called the basic qualifying question. If there were a benefit, would you take a look at it? Because you want to save yourself time, because some people don't. Benefit, would you at least? And don't change these words at all, unless you're doing it in Chinese. Okay. You're leaning back twice in this question.